Welcome to the Profitable Hypnosis Business online show, where top experts share their kick-ass money-making strategies and success habits. Hi there. Are you ready to turn your hypnosis business into a business that creates cash flow and gives you the life you want? I'm Karen Bird, your host, owner of Win with Hypnosis. You might know me as the Attitude of a Champion trainer. And I put together this online event to bring you some of the best experts from around the world. They're going to be sharing with you their number one secret about how to successfully and consistently bring in more clients, see more success, and kick ass in their business and their lives. And I'm very thrilled to introduce you today to Karen Hand. Thank you for being here with us, Karen.
Oh, Karen, I'm thrilled. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We just had a really fun conversation about the Karen memes.
I think she gets a better deal because she spells hers the cool way with a C and a Y, but it's really auditory.
Yes, we still get to be the brunt of the joke often.
And we're such nice people. I don't get it.
Why the Karen meme? I don't know. Anyways, Karen's warmth and love just exudes her, and I love her so much, and I'm so excited to be able to introduce Karen today. And we're going to be talking about thriving with an online business, because we all know in this time that we're in right now that it's really important that we go to online. And some of us are not offering it because we're a little fearful. So I'm excited to hear what Karen has to say, because I know that your business is mostly online, correct? Or all online?
Well, currently it is all online. I have a lovely office, but I'm not seeing anyone in my office at the moment. And to be truthful, I have been mostly online for the past 2 or 3 years. So this hasn't been that big a change for me. And that's why I want to share how easy it is to do this business online.
Yeah. So I'm excited. I have a couple questions for you. But before that, I just want to tell everyone a little bit about you. That you are an award-winning board-certified hypnotist, trainer, international best-selling author, and world-class communicator. Karen is the author of Magic Words and Language Patterns and Hypnotic Workshops, Done Like a Pro. Her 30-year career, which is as a Chicago radio personality, was the perfect foundation for using language to help others exercise their imagination. Karen's transition to hypnosis repurposed that skill set, and since 2005, she has helped thousands of people take control of their lives, and she's trained countless of hypnotists and NLPers to help others change for good. Karen sees clients and conducts trainings in her Chicago office and globally via Zoom. So if you're ready, I'm going to hop right in.
I'm ready.
Great. Okay, the first question that I have for you is, can hypnosis really be done just as effectively online?
And I have to answer that with, are you kidding me? I mean, that's facetious, not you, Karen, you know. But online is really easier in many ways. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Every single client that you see online is already well-versed into going into trance in front of a computer screen or in front of some kind of screen. Right? We sit down to watch our favorite program on TV and we trance out into the program. If you don't believe that's a trance, I happen to believe that we are always in a trance, that it's so much harder to come out of trance. So we go on autopilot or we work within our trance segments. And so when we sit down in front of a TV or in front of a computer screen, we are entranced without saying a thing. We know to look at it, pay attention to it, get into it, and everything else around us gets blocked out. If you don't believe that, talk to a sports fan when they're in the middle of a playoff game, if that ever returns. But, just ask them something, they won't even hear you because they are so entranced. So it is a misnomer to think that we can't put somebody into trance online because they join us.
Yeah, I love that. That is such a great concept. Do you mention that to your clients online so they already have that seed of, oh man, this is really going to work?
If I actually have someone who says, oh, I don't know if that can be done online, absolutely. We have that very conversation. And I'll ask them about their, I just pivot. We've learned about pivoting to another topic from politics lately, but I just pivot and say, what is your favorite television program? And they'll tell me. And what happens when do you organize your day around it, or do you make sure you watch it? We talk about that a little bit. That puts them at ease, develops rapport. And we talk about how they really get into the program or into a book or whatever it takes in order to talk to them about a trance. And then I like to move over to, we're always in that trance state and nobody ever tells us how to do it. But when you have lunch with your girlfriends, you're in a way different trance than when you're homeschooling your kids or when you're alone with your husband. Whatever. When you go to the grocery store, you're in a way different trance than when you were driving to the grocery store. You were in the driving trance. Now you're in the shopping trance. And if you don't believe that, when you're driving, you're thinking about all sorts of things except steering, staying between the lines, turning on your blinker and things like that. You don't come into consciousness unless somebody pulls out in front of you. And then, oh, wait a minute. That could have been a wreck. That could have been horrible. I love to talk to people about that, because what that does is it pulls them out of their trance and into consciousness, and then they get to take control about how they think about that thing. They can think about it as, oh, that's going to ruin my day. That could have been a wreck. That was horrible. And they can go down that negative rabbit hole of anger. Or they can look at that and go, wow, I am right in line with the universe today because my reflexes are in good shape. I noticed that if I hadn't been doing the right thing today, that could have been a major wreck. I'm right on track. Whew.
I love that. So you've given us a couple examples, not only of being in trance, but really how to reframe something.
How to take yourself in and out of trance. Nobody can do it for you. So that's my goal, is to empower my clients to learn how to change their trance state to something that feels better for them.
Yeah, and you can do that online just as easily.
Are you entranced?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I do train hypnotists online too. And I have had some pushback from some hypnotists who say, well, you can't do suggestibility testing online, or you can't do something like that. Are you kidding me? Why? We're hypnotists. Why do we go down rabbit holes of thinking about what we can't do? Why don't we just always pivot to looking at, well, what can I do? I have to harken back to early when I was a baby hypnotist and I had just learned age regression. Oh, I thought it was the coolest thing. And I was from Chicago talking to a girlfriend on the phone about this new thing I just learned, taking people back. And she said, well, can we try it? And I said, yeah, do you want to? Sure, why not? And we did a beautiful age regression and actually neutralized an emotion from her childhood right there on the phone. It wasn't until about 6 or 7 weeks later or so that I mentioned that to a trainer and was told, you can't do age regression on the phone. You can't? I just did as a baby hypnotist. And I just don't approach things from a perspective of it can't be done. I approach things from a perspective of how can I do it now? How can I do it how can I be flexible? So play along with me, would you?
Sure.
You want to do a suggestibility test? Put your hands together like this. Clasp your fingers together really tight. Push the heels of your hands together as if they're being held together by a vice. Really push them together. Bring these two fingers up. Now separate them into a V and stare at that space between those two fingers. Listening to my voice, you'll notice the magnet forming at the tips of your fingers. Pulling together, yes, you'll notice the magnet, the pull getting stronger. Try to keep them apart and the pull gets stronger. Try to keep them apart and the pull gets stronger and stronger as you clasp those fingers together and push your heels, the heels of your hands together. And when your fingertips touch, you can completely relax and let go. Now, I don't know if the audience watching us had the benefit of watching you, but there was a suggestibility test or a compliance test. And you could watch your client how well they comply with that. And it's like any other hypnosis. If their fingertips don't come together, you pivot and do something else. Hold your arm out like this, straight out in front of you, straight out in front of you. Make a fist. Make a fist. Make a real strong fist. Now, lock your elbow, lock your shoulder, and make that arm stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Stiff and rigid like a steel bar. Try to bend it and you cannot. Try to bend it and find you cannot. Relax your elbow, relax your shoulder, and relax your arm completely now. So 2 examples of when you think about it: inflection, voice inflection, watching, examples, nodding, helping your clients along. All of those things are things you would likely do in your office to further or deepen the trance. I don't happen to be a believer that you have to count down for deepening. I believe deepening can happen in a number of ways, like make that arm stiff and rigid like a steel bar, where it's so stiff and rigid. That is deepening the trance in that suggestibility test. We do that with our voice. We do that with our gestures, our nonverbal gestures, and we can do it just as easily online as we can in person. And your client is looking right at you. They're trained on you.
Yes.
The only thing I ever have to consider are the cats. Clients often like to have their trance with their cats in the room, which is fine by me. The cats jump up on them and they stay in trance because they're used to having their cats jump up on them. I've had cats walk up and curl up right in front of the computer and I see the cat's side, and we do hypnosis for a while with me looking at the kitty cat and the screen. Doesn't matter. Don't let it throw you. Pivot and make it happen.
And the presence of the cat just serves you to go deeper and deeper.
That's right. The advantage to me, that's exactly right, Karen. And the advantage to me is when I do Zoom sessions, my little Pomeranian is in the room with me. He's curled over in the corner sleeping. But if I have clients in person, the Pom has to stay in another room and he misses mama. So he's much happier with me doing Zoom sessions.
That's awesome. I think there's a lot of dogs that have been a lot happier with COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So what kind of adjustments need to be done for online work? And do you need special equipment or what is different?
You know, really, if you want to do Zoom sessions, all you need is a Zoom account and you can get it absolutely free. Zoom.us. Now you can do FaceTime, you can do Skype, there are all sorts of ways of doing it online. Teams. I happen to prefer Zoom because I've been using Zoom for several years. Zoom is absolutely free to start out. And you can do I did my whole practice online for maybe a year and a half with the free Zoom service, because on the free service, you can do as long as you want one-on-one, no limit to the time that you can spend with somebody one-on-one. And if you have more than one person on the free account, you're limited to 40 minutes. So if you do short groups, you can do 40 minutes. I upgraded to the pro account some time ago because I wanted to do longer sessions. I wanted to train online and do longer sessions. And so that huge office expense is $14.99 a month. You can't get an office cheaper than that, even with Regus. So for $14.99 a month, I've got an office ready to go. If you don't have a nice background like this, you can always get a green screen. Let me turn my camera just a little bit, and I will show you that over there in the corner, you'll see that blue thing. Well, on one side it's blue, on the other side it's green. When I pull that over here and put it behind me, I now have a green screen and can have any other background I want. Karen, I believe you're using the virtual green screen, right? And so look, she doesn't even have the green screen behind her. She's doing it virtually. So she didn't even have to spend that, I don't know, it was $82, I think, for my flexible green screen. These are not huge expenses, okay? So I had someone say, well, wait a minute, I like music behind my hypnosis processes. Okay, add music. I mean, you can go really fancy and get a mixer and have it actually mixed in, or I use my iPad. I keep it right here. I can turn on all sorts of music and have the ambient sound in the background. I do the virtual gastric band technique occasionally. And when I do that, I use operating room noises and all kinds of other sounds that are employed in it. And I run it off my iPad right here.
Well, so Karen, did you know this? If you have the music on your computer, you can go to share and the options and it'll play it through the computer so it's not in and out.
That's right. That's exactly right. I'm just saying that you can do it really cheaply without a lot of skill. Okay, you don't have to spend a lot of time learning Zoom. Yes, you can get in there and learn all of the different nuances of Zoom and do anything you want to. You can share your screen, you can share information, you can share videos, there's nothing that prevents me from training on Zoom.
Yeah.
Everything that I would do in person, we can do this way. And the last certification training I did, I had people in 4 states and 2 countries. You can't do that in person.
No, I know it actually opens up so much opportunity for us as hypnotists and hypnotherapists when we can reach out to anyone that has a computer or a phone.
Yeah. And, I wrote a couple of books. It's amazing what a book will do for you. You want a secret? Write a book, because a book gets you exposure all over the place. Since I wrote this book, I had to come up with a way to work with people in other countries who called and asked for mentoring or sessions or whatever. I had to come up with a way to do that. The phone was fine. I didn't like Skype very much, to be honest. But Zoom was easy. And so I now have clients in Australia and Johannesburg and the UK and, well, Canada, all over the world and all over the country. The other day I had a day where I had 4 people, none of them in Chicago. There were two in other countries and 2 in other states. So it just, but it's interestingly enough, Chicago is a big city with heavy traffic. And I find that clients right here in Chicago, local clients, often prefer Zoom sessions so they don't have to face Chicago traffic.
Yes, I have clients that used to come and see me from 3-4 hours away, the athletes in the state and in the Illinois area. And now they'll say, well, it's a long ride. Absolutely, it's a long ride. Let's hop on Zoom. And it's just as effective and it's really more convenient.
It really is. And you don't have that resistance of, I can't travel, or, oh, that makes it even more expensive. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yes, it opens up your world and it automatically expands your business possibilities. I'm not going to say that people are just going to come crawling out of the woodwork. You have to do something to let people know that you're there, but let people know that you're there and they will find you.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you have clients that ever resisted? And if so, how do you handle that?
Well, I've had people who call up, prospective clients who call up and say, they want to book an appointment. And I said, well, especially right now in COVID, I had the option of seeing people in person, but right now in COVID, I've got people who have said, oh, I don't know if it's as effective online. And then I have the conversation with them about it may be even more effective. But I take it one step further. When they call or email and they show some resistance, I say, tell you what, let's set up our Zoom screening. We'll set it up. You can see how it works. We'll even test some things out so you can discover how well it works for you. Mm-hmm. And then you'll know. But you don't have to pay any money or make any obligations. We'll do it that way first. And some people resist, or they say, oh, I don't know if I know it. They do it and then they love it. Yeah. They love it, and they love it from the comfort of their own home.
Yes. So really just doing your free consult on Zoom for a few minutes.
That's right. That's right. And that tends to win them over. There's another thing that if I get too much resistance, I don't sell people into what I do. I want them to screen into what I do. I want them to come prepared to make a change. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to sell them. If somebody resists on price or Zoom or anything else, the first thing I tell them is, I will refer you to somebody who I know is seeing people in person right now. Or let me refer you to someone who is a little bit cheaper than I am. When people call and the first question they ask is how much, I say, you know what? If you're looking for the cheapest hypnotist, I'm not it. But there are a lot, if money is your concern, I can refer you to a lot of hypnotists who are cheaper than I am.
And newer.
And I have. I'm sorry?
And newer, because that's why they aren't charging as much, right?
That is implied. That's a nonverbal suggestion, and you hear it. Most everybody who takes a referral places a call or two. Some people don't even place the call or two, but some people place a call or two and then call me back and say, "Nah, I still want to do it with you."
Yeah.
Not everybody, but many. And I'm not hurting for work, so I don't have a problem referring for something I don't want to do, something I know somebody else is better at. If I have an athlete column, I'm going to be referring them to Karen or to other people I know who work specifically with athletes. Now, if somebody just wants to improve their golf swing, I can help them with that. But if they're really a dedicated athlete, I'm going to probably refer them to somebody who specializes in that. I don't have a problem with that.
Right. And it's only fair, right? And we've always said this, is there are enough clients for us to go around that if we don't feel like we can serve them at 100%, then that's what we get to do.
Well, that's exactly right. And a referral, you asked for some secrets. A referral is a really great secret because when you refer somebody, it shows confidence for you. It shows flexibility, and they remember that. And they'll say, well, she did the best thing for me. She said, no, but she referred me to somebody else who was great. Let's call her first and find out what she thinks about this. I'm not saying it happens all the time. I'm just saying that you are developing rapport. You are setting a standard. You are being authentic, and that sells.
And really that goes two different ways. Not only are you being authentic with your clients, you're being authentic with your colleagues and creating alliances.
I am not an athlete. You might be able to tell by looking, and I don't have any desire to be an athlete. So why not work with something that I like more? I love finding myself. I love working with clients who are changing old habits or who are getting over old embedded suggestions that they just can't deal with. I love working with those clients. I love working with people who want to find themselves or find positivity. So why not work with the clients I love to work with and send the other ones that would be harder or I would have to do some research on to somebody else, to somebody who knows it better.
Exactly. So you already gave us one great tip, but tell me, do you have one secret in how you consistently and successfully continue to grow your business?
I don't know if it's a secret. I don't even know if it's the be all and end all answer. This is what I'll tell you. I update videos on my website. I wish I knew as much as everybody else about SEO and all of that stuff. I don't. I'm doing the best I can, okay, with what I've got. But what I have discovered is I have a video on my homepage, I have videos throughout my website, and I update those periodically. And for some reason, updating the videos, the Google worm loves it, and people call. As long as I keep my videos updated and update them often, I continue to get calls. So I don't know if that's a secret or not, but it's something that I have discovered for me really helps.
And that is a great tip because I have heard that again and again and again. In fact, I remember Richard Nongard saying it a good 4 years ago, and it was on my to-do list. And I don't know that I ever did it. Well, I know that I didn't do it because I had my website redone and my video's not on there. And I love that because you're right. You know, these little tips that we've heard it before, but that's a great one.
May I steal one from Dan Kendall? Because he has a brilliant one. I haven't employed it yet, but it's a great one. And that is whenever you get a text or an email from somebody, get back to them on video. Do a 1-minute video and say, this is who I am and I really want to talk to you. Let's set up a Zoom call or let's set up a phone call. And he just does a quick video. What a great introduction.
I remember him saying that once. You're right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go. I'm going to say video is the secret.
Video is the secret. It's a secret on Facebook too. It's just the secret.
Well, that's right. That's right. You do more Facebook. Record a video and repurpose it. Put it on your YouTube channel. Put it on Instagram. Put it every place.
Yeah.
Put it every place. Be out there. Make it easy for your clients to find you.
Yeah.
Be out there.
Yes. And when you do that, they feel like they know you already. So you've already gotten that rapport.
And the other secret about hypnosis is nobody takes every suggestion. Get over it. Okay. You cannot influence 100% of the people. So put yourself out there and let the people who like you come to you, and then you don't have to sell.
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll come to you if you video. I love that.
They don't come to you if you don't ever know if they don't like you. You know,
Right.
if somebody watches me and says, I don't like blondes, I don't like Karens, right?
Yeah.
I hope they get the impression that I'm not that Karen.
They're awfully bossy, those parents.
Well, that's right. But they get to know you, and they make their decisions, and they come to you. They pre-select you. How great is that? Give them the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anything else that you'd like to share with us regarding Zoom calls or anything with your business? Any business, great business tips?
Just do what you love. Do what you love and be flexible. Remain flexible. One other tip that I do like to share, Karen, with hypnotists is it's not your responsibility to fix them. Nobody needs to be fixed. Everybody's operating perfectly just the way they are. They might need a change in a behavior or a change in an operating system, but they have to do the change. You cannot be responsible for their change. So I'm concerned about hypnotists who wring their hands and worry and say, oh my gosh, I don't know if my client made the change. You have to let that go. Give them your best. Let them take the suggestions that work for them. Let them do the work in their head, and then empower them to do it. I like to tell my clients, weight loss clients or smoking cessation clients, you know, if you expect me to do this for you, that's a much more expensive program. For me to follow you around and take the cigarette out of your mouth or keep the fork out of your mouth. We can work that out, but it's really expensive. So how about if I empower you to do that for yourself?
I like that. I like that. And the one thing that I also tell my clients on that first session is I can give you the tools and the techniques. I can help you do this through hypnosis, but who is ultimately responsible for the change? You know, so similar. But I like that. I like that. I can follow you around.
Well, that's right. You could be their personal coach, Karen. You could go live with them in the south of France, and that would be wonderful. I told that to a guy the other day in San Diego. I said, I'd be delighted to come to San Diego and live with you for a month, but it will be much more expensive.
Right. Exactly. You couldn't afford me.
That's right. Although San Diego is a little bit of a perk, but I'm not getting on any airplanes right now. So there you go.
True. True. Good. Well, you are offering our audience the nonverbal communication class video, yes. Right? Which yes. I'm really excited about. Tell us a little bit more about it.
You know, there is a lot that can be done. I even alluded earlier that you help deepen a trance by what you create. We are hypnotists, but we are also belief shifters or thought changers or scene setters. We're directors in a way. And so while for you today, I did this from my office without a green screen, right? I do that sometimes to give, without ever having to say so, to show that I have a real office. We could do this in a brick and mortar setting. But if I'm working with people overseas, if I'm working with people in a different country, I often have a green screen background that has a beautiful window view of Chicago. So it appears to be a high-rise office in downtown Chicago. I'm not lying, but I am allowing their belief that they really got the right person. Oh man, this is great. It enhances that belief. And when they believe they're getting what they need, it'll be so much easier for them to get what they need, right?
Yes.
And so that's what the nonverbal communication is all about. Nodding, gesturing, using voice inflection, using background scenes to help set the scene for what you're doing.
Yes. And
yes, I'd like to share that class with you.
Yeah, and I love that. You teach that at conferences, because I know I've been to that class, and it was very helpful.
Good, good. Yes, I've taught it at conferences, and I teach it to everybody I certify because it's so important. what the clients don't say is what we need to be listening for. And what we don't say often goes a long way to helping our client make a decision.
Yeah. Yes. The nodding of the head. It does. Awesome. So the link is on the bottom of the screen here in order to get Karen's video, and it's just emailing you. Tell us a little bit about how we can get a hold of you or find you, website or email, in order to get that.
I made everything I could as simple as I can for you. My name is Karen Hand. I spell it the real way, Karen. Hand, right? Karen Hand, and everything is really that way. Karen at KarenHand.com or KarenHand.com. On Facebook, it's Karen Hand Hypnosis or Karen Hand Harper if you want my personal. On Instagram, it's Karen Hand Harper, and on YouTube, it's Karen Hand.
And because you have the video on your website, which you're always updating, I would bet you pop up first on Google when we would Google Karen Hand.
Well, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see, wouldn't it?
I'm going to check that out.
Google now.
Yes. So just send you an email and request the videos, correct?
Absolutely. And I will send you the link instantly, so you'll be able to watch it in your own time.
Perfect. So all of you that are listening, make sure that you get that video from Karen. It's some really golden tips. Karen's been in the business a very long time and is a wealth of knowledge. So please take advantage of that.
Thank you very much. Remember, I started when I was 12.
Yeah. I was like, that's awesome. I didn't know that story.
I did not.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today, Karen. Appreciate all of your advice and tips, and it's very helpful.
I loved it. And thank you so much for putting this together. What a great thing to do for our community. Appreciate it.
I'm so excited to help others be successful also. And that's why we do this, right? Is because we want our profession to be the one that really gets out there and not only knows how to be hypnotists and hypnotherapists, but be entrepreneurs and business people so that we can have successful businesses.
I'm going to sneak one more thing in. I'm sorry, but I'm going to sneak it in. I know that you have an affiliate program, and I want to be a part of that. What I want to do for hypnotists there is help you expand your business into groups. And I know groups are tough right now, but they will come back. So doing hypnosis workshops, Kelly T. Woods and I wrote the book, Hypnotic Workshops Like a Pro, and did a great training on that, and a special training for how to do group workshops online, because you can even do workshops online.
That's perfect. And what we're going to do is we have a Facebook group, Profitable Hypnosis Business, and that's the name of the Facebook group. Please join it. And we're going to have Karen on there telling us a little bit more about it and how we can get that program.
Cool. Thank you. Thank you, Karen, so much.
Extra bonuses. Yes. Thank you so much for being with us. And thank you all for being here and learning more about how to conduct Zoom sessions and why they're so effective. Have a great day, everyone.